Warriors that took a 3-1 lead against the Houston Rockets and a down the wire game right there. That was a hell of a game right there. And the game just came off. I ain't gonna lie, the game just came off. And what I want to say is, really, Ime? Now, Ime, you a hell of a coach. I don't want to take nothing from Ime Udoka. Hell of a coach. Şengün is a hell of a player. But that's the best thing that you can come up with, the game on the line. Possibly the series is on the line. And that's the play you draw up out of a timeout with the game and your damn near your season is on the line. You get Şengün. Now, like I said, I don't want to take nothing from Şengün. Şengün had a terrific game with 31 points. He was the best player for the Houston Rockets tonight. He led the team in scoring tonight. He had it going. But that's the play you draw up with the game on the line. When Fran V out there, he's on fire. Couldn't miss from 3. 25 points. You draw up a play with Şengün to go one-on-one against Draymond Green. One of the best defenders, maybe one of the best defenders of all time. And that's who you draw up a play for. Somebody who can't beat somebody off the dribble. Somebody who posts Draymond up from the three-point line and expected to get that running floater from the free throw line to fall. A turnaround at that off the left shoulder. And that's the play you draw up. Now, I'm not saying that's ultimately what cost them the game, but I'm saying that was the biggest play of the game. That was the latest play of the game. And with the game on the line, man, I'm not going to lie. I'm drawing up something better than that. Like I said, you just had Fred VanVleet out there. He just hit 8 threes tonight. 25 points. Somebody who can beat somebody off the dribble. I would have drawn up something better than that. And if you're going to live with Şengün doing that, which, obviously, he drew up a play for Şengün, so he living it down with Şengün taking that last shot. But the thing is, if you're going to have Şengün taking that last shot, you got to run something better. You got to get him closer down to the basket. You got to give him the ball. That just, to me, I'm not rocking with that at all. But ultimately, nonetheless, that is not what lost the Houston Rockets this game. What lost the Houston Rockets this game was free throws. They lost this game by 3 points. They missed, man, they shot so poorly from the free throw line, it's ridiculous. And one thing that I know, and I've been stressing about, is that free throws can win or lose you a ball game. And today, the Houston Rockets, they bit the bullet. They couldn't knock down the free throw. And ultimately, that determined wins and losses. And they lost this game. As you look, the Houston Rockets was 19 of 31 from the free throw line, shot 61%. 61%, 9 of 33 from the free throw line. If they make 5 of those, this is a 2-2 series heading back to Houston. And like I said, that play with Şengün, obviously that was the most recent play with the game on the line. I didn't like that play at all. I think Ime could have ran up something better, drawn up something better than that. All you had was Şengün go one-on-one from the top of the key against Draymond Green. That to me, that just don't sit well with me. That just don't sit well with me. But like I said, the Houston Rockets, they lost this game from the free throw line. 19 to 31, 61%. When the Golden State Warriors, they were 20 of 22, shot 91% from the free throw line. That's what the game came down to ultimately. Not the rebounds, not assists, not turnovers, not the 3-point shots, not points in the paint, not fast break transition points. Free throws is what won and lost this game for both teams. And the team that made more free throws, that were more efficient from the free throw line, they the team that came out on top. Because you look, the Houston Rockets dominated this game. From top to bottom, no matter how you try to slice it, how you try to look at it. If you look at the rebounds, 33, the Golden State Warriors had 34 rebounds. Houston Rockets had 41 rebounds. They got bullied in points in the paint. Houston Rockets outscored the Golden State Warriors in points in the paint by plus 30. They had 5 more blocks than the Golden State Warriors. So if you look at the game, the Houston Rockets dominated this game, but they couldn't win the game at the free throw line, and that's what lost them this game. And it's really just a sad sight to see, because if I'm Ime Udoka, bro, next practice, man, everybody, they not leaving walkthroughs, practice, whatever you gonna have after this game. Before this game, everybody on this roster needs to knock down 100 free throws. And then that 100 free throw, they need to make 10, at least 3 reps. 3 times out of the 100 free throws they made, they need to make 10 in a row. Because that's ridiculous. To miss that many free throws in a big time game like this. Opportunity to tie the series up, to get momentum, to go back on your home court, and y'all fumbled the ball from the free throw line. If that don't scream out inexperience, young, a team that haven't been there, shaky, nervous, whatever. All that played a part today in this game. Wasn't used to that environment. Not used to closing out games. Not used to the moments like that matters, bro. And the Golden State Warriors, I don't want to take nothing from their win today. Golden State Warriors played a hell of a ball game. Got good contribution from Buddy Hield. Got good contribution from Pods. You know, Jimmy Butler, he came alive with 27. Steph Curry gave you 17. He didn't particularly shoot the ball well from the three-point line. He was too fake. 25% from the free throw line. But other guys stepped up for the Golden State Warriors. As I mentioned, Buddy Hield had 15. Jimmy Butler, 27. Pies had 26. Curry had 17. Post off the bench gave you 13. Then when you look at it for the Houston Rockets, outside of Fred VanVleet with 25 and Anfran Sengun with 31, Thompson had 17, but nobody else really came for the ride. You need Jalen Green. And I've been preaching this since game 1. After they lost in game 1, Jalen Green to either have to give the Houston Rockets a chance to win this series. You got to be all-star level minimum. And it's crazy because this is why like franchises, this is why you got to hold off on paying young talent. Because obviously, you know, you paying them off what they can do for you in the future. You know, you're looking at the upside, you're looking at the potential. But when you get in games like this, you get in moments like this, once you get into the playoffs, you find out, do you really got a star? Or do you really just got somebody who just somebody? And please don't let that fly out of your head. Because in this series right now, Jalen Green, he is not somebody who you invest in going long term. Obviously, this is just his first playoff run. You know, I'm gonna cut him some type of slack. But right now, first game he had 7 points. Game 2 he had he won bonkers. Last game he had 8 points. This last game he had 9 points. This game 8 points. 3 of the 4 games that they didn't play this year in this series, Jalen Green has disappeared. It was a no-show. This whole fourth quarter, I don't even think Jalen Green stepped foot on the court in the fourth quarter. And this is supposed to be your franchise player moving forward. A cornerstone piece to your franchise moving forward. And he wasn't even playable down the stretch. He wasn't in the last possession. He wasn't in the game for the last possession. There's somebody who you can have the ball. You could put the ball in his hand to make something happen. He wasn't in the game. Down the stretch in the fourth quarter, when it mattered most, when the game got tight, Ime didn't trust him. That shows me a lot. But nonetheless, the Golden State Warriors, they won this game. They won this game on their home court. The Houston Rockets did not give away this game. The Golden State Warriors won this game. They was battling back. It was a heavyweight fight. Both teams were throwing blows. They was getting off the canvas and getting right back and putting their guard up. Yeah, that's what you like to see in a playoff game like this. The Warriors, they going back down to Houston. You know, Houston never been in this moment before. You know, Golden State gonna look to close it out. They got the momentum. They won the last 2 on their home court. Hey, they done already went into Houston and stole the game. They playing with house money right now. The thing is, how is Jalen Green going to respond? Because if I'm Jalen Green, if I'm the player who I think I am, this gonna hit the ego a little bit. The coach didn't trust me down the stretch. Coach ain't trust me in the last possession of the game. Biggest moment. We fighting for our playoff lives. I'm sitting and watching from the sideline. Man, they gotta hurt. They gotta hurt. But it's all needed. Because they need to be fuel to the fire. To give you extra motivation. Because you have been trash in this series. Trash, trash, trash. And that's just the bottom line of it. No way to sugarcoat it. No need to know ifs, ands, buts about it. You have been trash in this series. Besides that game 2 performance when you dropped 38 points, you've been... I've been even forgetting that you've been on the court. And I told you after game 1. Take that damn black fingernails off. Leave that emo shit at the house. This is grown man basketball. This is playoff basketball. You doing all that whining and crying, man, what the baby gonna do? The Houston Rockets, they done paid you that money. They done believed in you. And this what you giving them? Should be ashamed of yourself. Should be ashamed of yourself. Şengün, you played wonderful. I'm not going to bash you for taking that last shot because that is the play that coach drew up. You had the high hand. You had it going. You was the lead scorer on the team. You was the best player on your team tonight. Hell, you the best player on your team, period. After what I done seen from Jalen Green these first 4 games, that's all I needed to see. Because the thing is, the player who you is, one thing about it, if you're a superstar or all-star or you would think you're the player that you think you is, one game is not going to determine if you really that. You're only as good as your last game, and your last 2 games have been shitty. So that goes to show you something about Jalen Green. Now, you couldn't win this game with Stephen Curry shooting that poorly from the field. Man, you get contributions from Man Thompson. He finally decided to show up in this series. You get Fred VanVleet, having him a career night, the most points he ever scored in a playoff game. And Fran Şengün give you a double-double, 31 and 10. Steven Adams was all over the court, gave you 4 blocks a night. Causing havoc on the offensive glass, what he been doing all series. And you find a way to let this slip up, all because we couldn't make a damn free throw. It didn't matter who was going to the line. You was going 1 or 2. You was clanking them. Knees was buckling, arms was shaky, hands was sweaty. This sound like a damn Meek Mill job. I mean, a Eminem job right now. Should be ashamed of yourself. I can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. And the cap off everything that I'm saying right now, Ime Udoka, I got to give you some type of flat on that last drawn up play. A 6'10" postman who can't beat nobody off the dribble one-on-one. And what you living it down with is him taking somebody off the dribble. Draymond Green being the person that he's going against as the defender. And that's what you living with. And that's what that's the best thing that you could have drawn up out of a timeout. Is no actions at all. They didn't even try to get a switch. You had 18 seconds. You had 14 seconds. 10 to 14 seconds. So somebody could have came, set him a screen to try to switch him off to create confusion, to do something like that. But no. You wanted Şengün to go from the top of the key, beyond the 3-point line, against Draymond Green one-on-one, and shoot a damn running hook off the left shoulder from the free throw line. The Houston, now that I'm speaking, the Houston, they deserve to lose this game. From top to bottom, they deserve to lose it. From coaching, that was just bonehead coaching right there. Lackluster coaching, lackluster awareness. From top to bottom. Top to bottom. Now this one gonna sting a little bit for the Houston Rockets because they had a chance to win this game to be able to tie this series up and make it a competitive series heading back to Houston. Now that you're down 3-1, we only know there's only been 2 teams that come back from down 3-1. One team had LeBron James, the other team had Steph Curry. Houston Rockets don't got neither one of those guys. So you just cut your season short right there. You could have pushed this series to 6 games, and now it's gonna be over in 5. I really believe it. I really believe it. You get a stinker game from Steph Curry, who didn't play the best, and you couldn't win this game. Man, this gotta hurt for Houston. It gotta hurt. It gotta hurt. But they got nobody to blame but theyself. You miss what? I said they was 19 to 31 from the free throw line. You miss 12 free throws. You make half of those. You make 6 free throws. You win the ball game. And that's what happened. And that's where this game was determined. The game was won and lost from the free throw line. The team that made more free throws, that was more efficient from the free throw line, won this game. Because if the Warriors would have shot as poorly from the free throw line or missed, 4 or 5 free throws, this ball game probably would have been overtime. The game could have went a little different. It would have looked a little different. But they won the game from there. The Houston Rockets lost the game from there. And that was game 4 summed up for you right there. Now y'all let me know how y'all feel about Ime Udoka drawing up that last pay for Alperen Sengun to get Draymond Green for the last shot of the game. Me personally, I just didn't like that. Not saying that Sengun shouldn't have been the go-to player coming out of that timeout who be looking to put the ball in his hands to make something happen. But the thing is, that play that he drawn up, I could have came up with something better than that. A lot more movement to get him closer to the rim, to at least create a switch. Nah, man. Nah, bro. Nah. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that comment section below and let me know y'all takes and y'all opinions on how y'all feel about how this game went and how it ended. And I'm going to see y'all at the game 5.